you want to understand Brexit and what happened last night, Britain's relationship with the EU, the whole thing, stop. Don't think about that stuff. It's not really about that. This is a global phenomenon. This is a revolt against technocracy and elites telling everybody else what to do. At the end of the day, for the past 20 years, 80% of the people have been told 80% of the time by the top 20% what to do, what to think, and what's good for them. Guess what? They've figured it out. The 20% needs to listen, because if they don't, they're going to find something out. The Hamptons is not a defensible position.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's me, Crimson 60620, and yeah. Let me just fix my screen just a little bit. How's everybody doing? I am I know I've been kind of in and out for a while, and I apologize. Um, Joe, you it is a reason why you're just like the GOAT, man, the fucking GOAT. Oh God! If you guys didn't know, Joe is we met through a mutual channel that we watch, Utah Icecast, and you'll see either X, Mr. Experimento, you'll see the Utah Outcast, or like just anybody. Like if you see anybody that's related to Utah Outcast or X Experimento, it's usually like X, and damn, they have been like help me like with my channel so much, and one of the mainstays on there is Joe, and Joe is just awesome. um he recently tried, because not to give too much information, but he's recently in the area of Jubilee, and like Jubilee, they want some of the craziest dumb fucks in the motherfucking world, and some of the just most extreme shit. So somebody who's relatively insane, and yes, I know said relatively insane, but in a good way, like Joe, who would kind of not play to the stereotype of the old conservative begrudging man, but somebody who would just be like fucking awesome. Like that would get some people to tune in. Yeah, they wouldn't want somebody like that. Somebody who's actual who, and I don't know if he considers himself a centrist, but somebody who is pretty much on the left, just by some of the takes he believes. Like, yeah, if you actually got somebody like that, it's like, fucking like, I don't know. Would Joe, would you consider yourself like an old hippie, or a former hippie that still stay pretty cool? I don't know. Versus like young conservatives, that would be an awesome Jubilee section. They would have like old hippies versus like young conservatives, and that's how they would put it. It's better than some of the trash they've been doing lately. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Fucking socialist. Just as I thought. Yes. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Boy, I would, man, I would love to see Joe get on there and turn into some motherfuckers. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Um, I Wow, that would be fucking awesome. Yeah. Um, yeah. Mm, if you're watching the stream tonight, this is before we had the fucking nuclear holocaust. Oh shit. Those are the hardcore motherfuckers. It's like, yeah, what is the meme? Do I find the meme? Oh God. What is the meme? Shit. Um, shit. All right, here. Let me see if this the meme. I think I can find the meme. Oh, I saw it and I just like it's the big Chad like grandfather socialist. There's like, yeah, we used to when they used to come for the fucking union busters, we used to fight shit back, and now it's some of the not so cool socialists. And I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, and then I want to talk about this, and this is kind of been like one of those things where it's just like, if you've been around, if you fucking been around, you will know. And I know this is of course, okay. I have a little bit of a different thing. Yes, I think that hate symbols are a bad thing, but they're warning signs for us to know who are the bad people, and for most people that lets them know who the fuck to stay away from. For people like me, who's like, yeah, a fucking bully to people who have bad ideas, that lets me know that they're a target. Oh, you're flying a swastika, but you're like, the master race, but you're 400 pounds, slobbery, balding at 24, and yeah, having touched somebody who you find attractive in like forever, yeah, you're the master race, yeah. But I had to change it a little bit because there are some people who are not necessarily you can't use the incelebrant joke right now, because some of these people are fuck, judging by what people said about what happened to Ukraine, like some of these people who say they're on the left are fucking supporting Vladimir Putin, who I contend, and I will say this with all fucking sincerity, fuck Vladimir Putin. Yeah, no, but let's say this, because this is what I've always said, and you can actually go back to some of my videos since what happened with Georgia, like not Crimea, but Georgia. Vladimir Putin is a little bitch baby. He's one of those little bitches that was, oh, I'm going to be part of the KGB. The fact is, he was too young to roll with the fun KGB people, that did all the horrible, terrible shit. Now he's big mad because, no, I'm serious too. He's a fucking pussy. He's a fucking coward. Ooh, look at me. I'm going to take my shirt off and ride on a horse. Dude, you flabby. Oh, fuck. No, please don't tell me Jimmy Dore is supporting this shit. Please, I know Greenwald is, because, Glenn Greenwald. Like, I mean, like, I would make a joke about him filleting Putin, but that would actually be in bad taste. But, like, yeah, fuck. Fuck. These people are fucking crazy. And you get people on the left that was just like, oh, NATO is expanding its fucking territory to the Russian border because Russia is trying to fucking. Vladimir Putin is doing some of the same shit that Mr. Mustache did. He is. I'm sorry. If you remember what happened with the Sudetenlands, oh yeah, we're gonna take the Sudetenlands. But most people remember that shit, but they don't remember how the Mustache Man fucking took over part of Austria and said, because, well, there's ethnic Germans in there, and it's our people, so we should just take part of it. Oh god, yeah, he probably will be the CPAC fucking keynote speaker. Fuck these people, man. You can't, like, for somebody to literally go on international TV was like, well, there are ethnic Russians in here, so we should just take it over because reasons. And like, I know the joke has been made, but Putin is doing literally the blood and soil argument. He is literally doing the blood and soil argument. Man. No, because remember, they were unique monsters, and nobody ever would do that. Like, I don't know, have many anti-Semites in his cabinets. Oh shit, Russians do that. Oh, persecute LGBTQ people. Oh fuck, Putin is doing that. Use hyper religious symbolism to actually try to galvanize the public. I mean, like, next thing you're going to be telling me that Putin is disappearing journalists or political rivals or poisoning people with, toxic chemicals and isotopes. Putin wouldn't do that. He wouldn't jail political dissidents. He wouldn't do that because Soviet Union and Russia used to share the same occupied landmass. Yeah, reasons. Oh God. See, this is why you guys bring me this shit, and I know about the shit, but it's bad because I know about the shit, and you guys bring me this shit about what's going on also across the world. Because, like, yeah, I'm sorry, Abbott. Like, let's just. What's up, Stargazer? With the shit with Abbott, and it's just like, what the fuck? Because you want children to be who they identify as, then it's child abuse. Like, I was just, like, how much red meat do these motherfuckers want? Like, for real, how much red meat do these motherfuckers want? I don't get it. And, like, before this turns into a fucking streaming, rivaling little, like, I'm going to be rambling. And I don't like rambling because, like, the world is so fucked up. No, he doesn't eat poo. He eats bear poo because he captured it with his bare hands. Because Putin is a big old bear. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna make that joke because he's not big. He's small. Anyway, oh god, I'm looking for my headphone jack because this is I don't know if I'm gonna stay on long, guys. It's a couple of videos that I want to actually do, a couple of topics that I want to do. If you haven't been noticing, and I do want to apologize for this, red meat. Republicans live for red meat like it's spam. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh god. Okay. You guys. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of energy. Thank you. All right. So there's a couple of things I want to do. A couple of things I want to go over. Yeah. I want to actually do this, okay? Because this is just one of those things that I actually he eats the poo and likes to eat. Okay. I want to actually do something that's a little bit more personal today. So if you guys can suffer with me on this one, I want to actually address this. So we're gonna actually cover this, and it's gonna be a little. You guys got to work with me on this one, okay? Because this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I just okay. So I like to play video games. I do. I like to play video games. I enjoy playing motherfucking video games. I know Elden Ring is coming out soon. Horizon Zero Dawn is coming out. It has came out last week. I didn't get a chance to buy it because I'm a broke bitch, and all of my money goes to food, electricity, gas, and rent. So when I can get some extra money, then I try to actually buy games. But right now, I don't have the extra money. And so what has been happening? Don't do that to me. Don't do it. Because I really want to play it. And I've been seeing the reviews and stuff like that. And I know the story of Horizon Zero Dawn. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. And aside from the shit that Sony pulled, and I still like Sony, but I will call them out on their shit. Like with like, I can go on a PS4 and actually pay $60 for the game, but if I go on a PS5, it's $70. Yeah, the shit that they're pulling right there. Yeah, that's kind of a low blow. Yeah, no, Stargazer, I am. I actually haven't been able to game that much. One of the things, and this is the reason why I want to pull this out. This is the reason why I want to pull this up. Is I went back and found the article, and this is not just for gaming. This is actually for how we treat work right now. Now I've been getting into some spirited conversations with people. And what is really, really bad is the way we treat work. And I know it. I get it. A lot of people think, oh, you got to work hard. Every job sucks and fuck that. And like, no, like the way we treat work. And quite frankly, guys, it's fucked up. Now, this is an article that was around since fucking 2005. This article has been around since 2005. And let's just take a look at it. All right. Why crunch mode doesn't work. 6 lessons. 2005. This was done. This article was done. What? It's 17 years ago. And this is how long we've known that crunch is fucked up. So, executive summary. When used long-term, crunch mode slows development and creates more bugs when compared to with 40-hour weeks. More than a century of studies show that long-term useful workers' output is maximized near a 5-day, 40-hour work week. Productivity drops immediately upon starting overtime and continues to drop until apparently 8 60-hour weeks. The total work is done and is the same as it would have been done in 8 4-hour weeks. In short term, working over 24 hours continuously is equivalent to being legally drunk. Longer periods of continuous work drastically reduce cognitive functions and increases the chances of catastrophic error. In both short and long term, reducing sleep hours as little as 1 hour nightly can result in severe decrease in cognitive ability, sometimes without workers perceiving the decrease. Now, this is actually a study, and it is long, and I don't know if I'm going to make it through the whole thing, but this is kind of a personal thing for me. So, see, for so long, I was actually on my old job before the one I switched to. I was doing 60-hour weeks for no other reason because they couldn't find coverage. And when you would bring this up, that shit was just, it was fucking frustrating because what they would say is for the good of the business, for business needs and shit like that. And it's just like once you hit wall, and you guys probably know it, once you hit wall hour number 7 at your job, it's like hitting a fucking wall. And at that point, you're not really productive. You're just like, oh fuck, God, let me get the fuck off. And that shit is fucked up because we know how it fucking affects us. And so let's go here. Introduction. In the aftermath of the EA Spouse post on LiveJournal, quality of life conversations in the game development businesses have taken on a new life and new urgency. EA Spouse received thousands of comments to her original post, followed quickly by major media coverage. Thousands of people around the net participated in a vast, spontaneous discussion that explored issues like mandatory overtime, productivity, job portability, laziness, unionization, lawsuits, and the general evil of corporations. Now, if you don't know what the EA Spouse no. Now, Joe, just to say what I'm about to say, the only crunch that I like is Crunchyroll, where you can actually get anime live from Japan. They're not sponsoring me, but EA Spouse actually wrote a letter, and if you don't know what the letter is, it was specifically about how their spouse was not around, and this is a letter that's been around for about 17 years, and the fact that we're still having this conversation lends not only to the fucking gaming industry, but so many fucking industries around us. So let's actually just go into it. I've spent 20 years developing and managing software projects. Every year that's passed, and every project that I worked on fueled my growth. My growing conviction that crunch mode is grossly destructive, expensively inefficient. It's a common sense that more hours people work, the less productive they become. But over time, I noticed that the productivity loss that resulted from working too many extra hours started taking a bigger toll faster than most software managers realize. As I dug around, I was stunned to discover that I was hardly the first one to figure this out. My observations have been common knowledge among the industry engineers for almost a century. I've amassed a personal collection of source information over the past 15 years. This summary mainly includes information that you can readily find on the web. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to be able to go out and read the original source yourself. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the fucking thing about it. They know this. They know this. They know that this is a problem, but nobody wants to be the first one. I'm at a fucking new job right now, and some of the practices that they have are fucking ridiculous that leads to turnover. Now, I don't have to work mandatory overtime, technically, but there are times where I would have to work. You guys may not see it. I might have to work a day on the weekend, and so to compensate for the hours that I miss on the weekend day, I'm gonna have to work 9 hours or 8.5 hours, and it's just like it's. So let's go into the history, shall we? History. In 1908, almost a century ago, industrial efficiency pioneer Ernest Abe published in the Yosemite Obligation his conclusions that a reduction in the daily work hours from 9 to 8 resulted in an increase in total daily output. Nor was he the first to notice this. William Matter had adopted an 8-hour day at the Stanford Iron Works in 1893. In 1909, Sidney J. Chapman published The Hours of Labor, in which he described the long-term variation in workplace productivity as a function of hours worked per day. His conclusions was discussed in some details below. When Henry Ford famously adopted the 40-hour work week in 1926, he was bitterly criticized by members of the National Association of Manufacturers, but his experiments, which had been conducted for the last 12 years, showed him clearly that cutting the workday from 10 hours to 8 hours and the work week from 6 days to 5 days increased the total worker output and reduced production costs. Ford spoke glowingly of the social benefits of a shorter work week, crouched firmly in terms of how increased time for consumption was good for everybody, but the core of his argument was that the reduction in shift length meant more output. Now. Far be it from me to praise Henry motherfucking anti-Semitic Ford ass, but yeah, I know. Like Henry Ford was okay. Henry Ford was a gigantic piece of shit, but he recognized something, and this is the most reductive way you can actually say it. You give people money, and you give people time off the shop, and guess what they fucking buy? And yes, Henry Ford is a gigantic piece of shit. So, fuck Henry Ford. But he gave us two things: the modern assembly line and a 40-hour work week. It's a shame that he fought against unions, so fuck him. And unintentionally caused the downfall of the Rust Belt because he made shit easier to produce, which was good. And also made it easy to Thank you. But yeah, no, he because Ford, fuck him. So I have found more studies conducted by businessmen, university, industry associations, and the military that support the basic notion that for most people, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week is the best suitable long-term balance point between output and exhaustion through the 30s, 40s, and 50s. These studies were apparently conducted by hundreds by the 1960s. The benefits of a 40-hour work week were accepted almost beyond question by corporate America. And in 1962, the Chamber of Commerce even published a pamphlet extolling the productivity gains of reduced hours. But somehow, Silicon Valley didn't get the memo. EA Spouts writes, current mandated hours from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week, with the occasional Saturday evenings off for good behavior, 6:30. Thus, this average is out to about 85 hours. Oh, wow. 85-hour work weeks. Wow. Fuck EA, man. Fuck EA. Damn. You get one company working their employees to death and the other one sexually harassing them to death. Hello, Activision Blizzard. Actually working from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 6 days a week plus 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. 1 day a week comes out to 87.5 hours a work week. But after that, many hours, who's counting, right? Who's counting? Yeah, 80-hour work weeks, man. Fuck them. Like, I'm sorry. I'm using a lot of fuck bombs in this video. Electronic Arts is no different from many high-end tech companies in this regard. For them and anyone who wants to increase their employees' productivity and sanity, let's take a look at some of the assumptions management makes regarding hours, outputs, efficiency, and productivity costs, and see how a century of industrial research has consistently proven those assumptions wrong. Now, in other words, they're just paying people a salary and they end up making less than minimum wage for the salary that they're making. But yeah. What management is trying to achieve when it sends employees off on death marches. We honestly believe that the CEO of EA is happy that people are in the office 24 hours a day working their asses off. Oh, do we honestly believe that the CEO of EA is happy that people are in the office 24 hours a day working their ass off. Hello, and fucking Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson. Sorry. Management wants to achieve maximum output from this employee. They want to produce a good product as cheaply as possible. They also want to avoid hiring extra resources that increase the cost of the finished goods unless absolutely necessary. On the surface of it, crunch mode looks like the most obvious and logical way to reconcile these two desires. Assuming output can be measured in discrete units, a manager who hasn't read the research may reason that if someone produces, say, 16 units of output in 8 hours, they should produce 18 units of units in 9 and 20 units in 10 hours. They express that view as a simple equation that they can write, and there's the equation. Whereas 0 is the total output, and X is the given duration of the benchmark number of hours. Y is determined defined by Y, and T is the actual number of hours works. The hypothetical situation mean is that increased time T is a simple way to increase output, which we know that is fucking stupid. The assumption that may be valid in a limited case where hours of work are extended over a brief period, for example, to meet a looming deadline, but research and long experiences in other industries have shown that the limits to such overtime spurts are reached sooner than most people realize. And when those limits are reached, the spurts turns into bogs. Oh, excuse me, guys. More realistic views of worker output would take into account the changes in hourly output that results from a change in length of the workday. Those changes results mainly from two sources: simple physical and mental fatigue that occurs in the later hours of a long day, and accumulated physical and mental fatigue that builds up over an extended period of long work days. The more complex view can be represented by the following equation. So, this kind of stuff I studied while getting my MA in economics in the U.S. in the University of Chicago, but did turn into Milton Friedman Chicago boys who palled around with Pinochet. Of course, look, this is a fucking thing about it. So, the fucking Freeman boys, Milton Friedman and his son who's trying to continue that shit, they fucked over a pretty okay system. Like, you can say, and I know my Marxians in the chat and who will listen to this video would probably hate the whole Keynesian economics thing. And I get it. If you were looking for the Marxist revolution, Keynesian economics didn't do enough for you. But Keynesian economics did do a lot for a lot of the middle class. And it wasn't everybody who benefited from it. I'm not going to sit back and lie and say it was everybody who was benefited from it. But if you had a question of asking me, do you want Keynesian economics right now, or do you want the bullshit that we have right now? Fuck, give me John. Come here, John Maynard Keynes. And plus, he was actually pretty socially liberal. If you don't know about the history and life of John Maynard Keynes, that motherfucker had some fun. I'm just saying, he had some fun. And, yeah, we're going to leave it like that. Okay. So, whereas O is the output, and the P represents the changes in hourly production that occurs over time, T1 minus Tn. This equation of P parentheses is a function, but not constant. P in the parentheses will vary by worker because some workers produce more than others. P would also vary by hour because humans are not machines. Wonder. I'm a sex machine ready to explode. I'm sorry. Like a rocket ship, I'm gonna go. Explode. Okay, I'm sorry. Because humans are not machines and do not do exactly the same amount of work. 14 of a job as they do in hour 14 of a job as they did in hour 1. Finally, people vary according to recent history of the worker, because people don't work as well in the morning after a late night as they do in the morning after a good night's sleep. What? For real? Yeah. So this is how it looks now. Uh, so this is just going over it. Where's the break even? If productivity essentially decreases over a workday, and working lots of hours results in a reduced productivity, how do we even establish a method to maximize total output and figure out where the break even is? Unfortunately, quantifying knowledge worker output is a hard problem. And I would love to be able to give a simple equation to you. You can plug in a few numbers and pull into the magic out of hours each person should work to maximize the output. I can't, because even when such equation finally exists, it would be impossible to find and agree on the basic numbers to plug into the common programming measures like lines and codes and functions points are either easy to collect and question the value of difficult to define or and collect. Useful measures like number of bugs created and number of bugs fixed are viewed with suspicion that they may be used unfairly in annual reviews or gained by clever programs in anticipation of annual reviews or performance bonuses. So, lesson 2. Productivity is hard to quantify, of course. And I'm actually going to drop this in the chat. I don't want to have you guys just read this. Like, I want to give you guys homework. This is homework from me to you guys. Because what this is actually saying is we need to change our fucking way of life as far as how we treat work. And I'm sorry, guys. Like, if we don't fucking do this, we're already fucking stressed enough. We are already stressed enough. I'm fucking dealing with the stress. I literally am emotionally drained because of all the shit that's been going on. COVID, just changes in relationship and shit like that. If we don't do this, the fucking jokes or the fucking stigma that's hampering the next generation below us, the Zoomers, and I know I have some Zoomers in my audience, but the Zoomers and the late millennials, we're gonna be fucking neurotic messes by the time we turn fucking 50. I'm already there. So yeah, this is just the fucking type of thing that I want to actually make a point about. Sometimes my show is about like laughing at stupid motherfuckers. Sometimes I'm just talking about videos that I agree with. But this is one of my things. And if you don't want to live in a society where we're dictated by our work and our value isn't because of who we are versus what we produce, we need to actually address this. We need to actually get with our current workers, speak about this shit, because if we don't, we will be fucking working ourselves to death. And it doesn't even help the business class because they will get less productivity out of us. Ask me how I know. Anyway. Yeah, this is just a video, a topic I thought I'll actually cover. Because it's really me throwing a fucking fit because I'm kind of pissed about it. So anyway, let's go on to a few more things. Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right. Had to clear my nose for a second. All right. So this is a video that I want to actually address not too long ago, but in light of current situations, I feel that this was important. Now, I do know I have some people in my office Yeah, of course that shit will fizzle out. Of course, of fucking course. I like that DC convo. Of course, it will figure out and fizzle out. Shit, like the U.S. is acting as if COVID doesn't exist anymore, even though. Fuck. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see this. Wait, quit playing. All right, let's look at this. Daily COVID US. All right, so this is actually what fucking kills me. Let's see if I can actually pull it up. So, we are literally in 2022. And this is our daily death toll for COVID. Now, here, it dropped, but it's about $2,000 a day for the daily death tolls. And this story was actually put in February the 24th, so today. Yeah. So excuse me if I don't think that the fucking pandemic is over, because thousands of people are dying today. And it's fucking crazy because thousands of people are still fucking dying today. So no, the U.S. is not living as if it's under a fucking vaccine or mask mandate, because people are fucking still dying. And these whole, because look, that trucker convoy in Canada was never about masks. 90% of the truckers were fucking vaccinated. They were. The fact is, these right-wing militia motherfuckers wanted to see as a fucking opening. And in that process, fucking Trudeau asked for emergency powers. Not to send a fucking military in, which people will say, ooh, that's bad. They sent bankers in. And as we know, as we see currently right now in another unrelated conflict, when you send military shit in, people protest. But if you send bankers, oh, that's quiet. That's neat. That's efficient. No, never fucking trust the government. Never trust the government to fucking take powers to quietly silence people. Never trust that shit. And I get it. People didn't want to see the cops or military go in there and smash heads. But I tell you one thing. If they had my skin condition, they would have went in there and smashed heads. No question. But they did it quiet and neat and closed bank accounts and froze bank accounts. No, fuck that. Look. Equal protection under the law, or equal protection from the law, or equal unprotection from the law. Go quiet shit. These motherfuckers weren't quiet when they was waking people up. Go in there with tear gas and bomb the shit out of them, like roach bomb, or like not actual, physical issues like that. No. But shit, no, fuck that. Oh, we're gonna freeze their bank accounts and it's gonna look bad. No, fuck that. And you know what? That you're right, Joe. They were funded by those groups. But and I know the it's been made a point. What happens when they use the same thing for BLM protests? I don't want the government to have any of that power. I don't want the government to be able to freeze assets of anybody, whether I believe or whether I fucking believe in their cause or not. Because here's the fucking thing. We know what happened after the Patriot Act. We know what the NSA and all the other motherfuckers, Alphabet Boys, did. They were doing it. They were looking at the people who are petty. They were looking after their lovers, their spouses, their spouses' lovers. No, like, I don't trust the government with that much power. I fucking don't. I just call it me. I don't trust the government with that much power. Because the government are made of people, and that's great, but the people who go for those jobs now is self-selected for fucked up people. I just got on a rant. I'm sorry. My fault. I apologize, guys. I got on a rant for no reason. All right. Can we talk about this video? And the video I'm going to talk about is, and this came out, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of a Professor Richard Wolff, but if you've been on my channel, you know about Professor Wolff. Why is this not working? Come on now. Let's see if it'll play. Oh, get off of that. Let's see if I can pull it up, because now my fucking video is not playing. Come on now. Come on now. Let's see. Why isn't this working? I know it was working earlier. Oh, don't tell me it's not playing. Fuck. All right, let me see something. I want to save this to response videos, and let's close this out. I'm gonna try to bring this back up. All right, so let's just try to close this window out and bring Google back up. All right, apps. You know, yesterday I actually tried to make some fried rice, some shrimp fried rice. It did not turn out well at all. Okay, let's do this. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. There we fucking go. Yes. All right. All right, so we're gonna watch an episode of Economic Update with Professor Wolff, and let's go over it. 1 second, guys. All right, let's go. All right, so here we go.
Welcome, friends, to another edition of Economic Update, a weekly program devoted to the economic dimensions of our lives. All
right, so this is actually a special one. This is a sign of a systemic decline. Now, at the time Professor Wolff actually made this, of course he was talking about America. I make no bones about that. But in light of recent events, and because this is a commentary channel and I actually want to cover this video a while ago, we're going to actually use this to also see where we can find comparisons with a certain aggressive country in our world community. Let's go.
Jobs, debts, incomes, our own and those of our children. I'm your host, Richard Wolff. I want to begin by commenting on something I've commented on before. I have introduced over the last few months a notion that is relatively new to me too, that U.S. capitalism, something that has been an ascendant reality in the world for quite a while, has come to a turning point. After 100 to 150 years of remarkable growth and expansion, it has peaked, and that we are now in a phase of considerable long-term decline.
All right. So, if you don't know, capitalism sucks. And I'm just going to say it. Fucking capitalism sucks because at some point, you cannot motherfucking squeeze any more money out of the bottom classes. At some point, you're going to be like, well, no more money. A lot of poor people. Oh, shit. They're getting pitchforks. And then you try to keep the system going, keep the system playing. Hey, let's try to make a get-rich-quick scheme. Like some sort of pyramid-shaped object. Some pyramid scheme or something like that. Or how about something after like a guy named Ponzi. Oh, why don't we create fake money and then say it's linked to a blockchain and now use that fake money to buy copies of digital receipts of pictures, which somebody like me can actually draw in like 5 minutes. But capitalism is not in decline, right? Right?
I don't say that with any pleasure or with any sense of satisfaction. I say it because it's crucial to help us understand where we are and how we can make this phase of our existence as a nation and as a planet less dangerous and less frightening than it needs to be. Okay, let me give you then 2 statistics about a declining system. The first, something in the news these days that you all know about. One of the richest countries in the world has just lost 2 20-year wars to 2 of the poorest countries in the world.
And again, this is during the time of, when was this video actually put out? Here. October the 18th of just last year. And it was, of course, what happened with Afghanistan. Of course, you can see what's happening with Iraq in that case. But, we have a new challenger. We have Russia, which admittedly isn't a rich country, but it's military hardware rich. And it's going up against a small little neighbor to its side. And you know how the U.S. was embarrassed out of fucking Afghanistan? Well, the same way the Russians were, but they attacked a smaller country, a weaker country, and there was heavy fighting the first day. And then, the weaker countries moved back to the hills and fought a long, protracted war where the bigger, more powerful country was bled dry by a cut of 1,000 deaths. But let's go.
That cannot be coincidence. That cannot be happenstance. That's about fundamental changes going on around us that we would be better off thinking about and taking into account. The second statistic you likewise, I suspect, already know. The United States has roughly 4 to 4.5% of the population of this planet. But even though we are one of the richest countries, and even though we have a well-developed medical system, we account for 20% of the deaths from COVID. These are remarkable statistics.
So again, this is 2021 October, and we're number 1 in COVID deaths because we're acting like fucking COVID isn't real. And 4%, 4 to 5%, 20% of the fucking deaths. Because reasons. Some of it is our bullheadedness and pigheadedness of not wanting to act like a fucking pandemic is actually still real. But let's be honest. Poor people of all stripes couldn't go to the doctor. So they started buying fucking horse paste. And yes, I know ivermectin is not a horse paste, it's a human medicine. But most of the people that were buying it because they couldn't afford a doctor and they didn't want to be sick, they fucking bought livestock paste. But let's continue.
We have the companies to make what it takes to cope with the virus. We have the trained personnel. We have much of what is needed, just like we have a highly developed military. But if your system is in a decline, then there are 1,000 parts that are moving in ways you wish they didn't and produce outcomes you wish they didn't too. It's a sign of system decline. Let me turn then to the updates for today's program. I begin with an investment, an acquisition by one of the largest investment companies in the United States, Moody's. They're very famous for providing ratings of companies' debts and stocks. Moody's. They just made a purchase for $2 billion of a company you probably never heard of, RMS. What does RMS do that led Moody's to spend $2 billion?
Well, I can just tell you that a company just bought another shit company for about $70 billion, or was it 68.7 billion? Of course, they could have just made it 69 billion. That would have been base. Of course, I'm talking about the Microsoft purchase of fucking Activision Blizzard. But let's go.
To buy it. Here's what RMS does. It models climate change risks for businesses that are worried all around the world that climate change, climate disasters, floods, droughts, fires, all those things we're all aware of now. How is it going to affect this business, that business? Is there a profit opportunity here I can exploit? Is there a cost I can avoid? RMS will tell you. And Moody's, guess what? They think that's a big business they want to be in on. So here's my comment.
I mean, you guys, okay, so I know it was mentioned before, right? I know it was mentioned before that Horizon Zero Dawn is actually a good fucking game. Have you guys ever played that game and actually got some of the data points? I feel like I was one of those rare people that actually tried to piece together what happened before the world fucking ended because, I don't know, a giant tech billionaire wanted to prove that he's big and bad and unintentionally caused the fall of, the ecosphere. Yeah, but if you actually watched, played that game and got all the notes, yeah, you'll learn that it was we had fucked the world up. Hold on one second. Now, this is actually something that I saw just today. And this is some of the shit that fucking, I guess, RMS or would actually do. But here, watch this shit. Okay, skip ad. Check this shit out. Climate change could drive wildfires risk by 50% by the end of the century. Global warming and changing lands used to set drive up the risk of extreme wildfires by 50% by the turn of the century. The United Nations Environmental Program published Wednesday, which calls for a radical shift in government street blazes. Imagine having a company that deals with this shit and how lucrative those profits can actually fucking be. $2 billion? Or they plan to make $50 billion from that shit. But let's go.
In a capitalist system, we can't get together, all of the businesses and all of the employees and our government, to deal with a problem that confronts us all. Collective action around this subject, very hard to come by. But meanwhile, individual companies want to be sure and spend big bucks to know how to avoid a cost and how to make a profit from the very disasters we as a community seem incapable of coping with. Tells you something about what a
Like, just think
By the
about that
economic
shit.
system.
Think about that shit. There are companies that are literally that are making business deals or saying like, "Hey, how can we make a profit off a fucking disaster?" This should just piss you off. This is literally should just piss you off because fuck capitalism. But let's continue.
Does. I want to turn next to the infrastructure. You know, that bill that the Republicans and Democrats have been fighting over for months. But I want to talk about what's at stake. Infrastructure, roads, bridges, harbors, all of those things we probably don't think about, but which are crucial. And I want to make sure everyone understands how and why they're crucial. I'm going to take the example of roads. If you don't maintain your roads,
So this is actually funny because Biden was trying to trout his historic infrastructure bill that ended up being like a way of giving the power to companies to create toll roads for you and your family and charge you more to go to the jobs that we slave at. The day before or the morning before he was supposed to go to this fucking Pennsylvania town, a fucking bridge collapsed. That was just like, yo, fuck you. We need to fix this shit. And the fact that most of our infrastructure receives a grade of D or D plus. Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
roads and bridges, as we have not done in the United States, here's what happens. And engineers have done the work. The wear and tear on vehicles, cars and trucks, is worse if the roads aren't maintained. Every one of those little bumps, every one of those little potholes does its job on your undercarriage, on your tires, on your axles, on your car. Engineers have estimated that the poor quality of American roads is costing every vehicle owner $300 a year. Wow. Now let me talk to you about that. Extra $300 is not just what you as an individual with your car have to pay, although it's quite a tax if you think about it, on you. But I want you to think about all the companies that can't compete in the world economy because they have a bigger cost than people in many other parts of the world who maintain their infrastructure.
So this is actually this is fucking pretty wild. Think about it. All those small businesses that may have had that extra money to go to, hire new employees, to maintain their vehicle, to upgrade their vehicle fleets, not just maintaining it. I don't know. The small streamers that can't put more money or time into their craft because they have to pay to fix shit. Oh no. That's just capitalism. But let's continue.
So when they give an estimate of what it costs them to produce something, they have to take into account that the trucks will go more slowly, that they'll have to spend more money to maintain or replace their trucks and vehicles and vans. It all adds up and is a very self-destructive mistake. And that leads me to the next point. People are complaining it's such an enormous amount of money. It's an enormous amount of money because we haven't done it year in and year out. We've neglected our infrastructure. Had we done it along the way, which every sane person knows we should have done, it wouldn't have been this big amount of money we're now confronted with.
And see, this goes to the point that Joe just said in the chat. The GOP has starved infrastructure. Starved wanted to spend money on fixing our roads because you potholes and fucked up and see government doesn't work. But yeah, here we go. Let's go.
That's just a failure to understand what infrastructure maintenance means. And so why have we been neglectful? And the answer is it's our capitalist system. It's really not hard to understand. Put yourself in the position of a politician, any politician, a mayor, a governor, a representative, it doesn't matter. Here's what they're basically confronting. People and businesses who want a lot of services, and people and businesses who don't want to pay taxes to produce those services that they want. Putting the politician in an impossible position, you're judged according to the services you provide, and you're judged according to the taxes you don't collect. You know what the solution is. Partly it's borrowing money, which is why our governments are in debt beyond all words. The United States government is the biggest debtor in the world. But that's not the only solution. The other solution is, especially if you get criticized for having debts on top of everything else, is to just not do services where they won't be seen. That's called your infrastructure. Postponing the fixing of the road, postponing the redoing of the bridge, postponing the redigging of the harbor, whatever it is. It's built into our system to neglect it. And so here comes my sad commentary. Watching the Republicans and Democrats debate this bill is an exercise in pathetic. Why? Because the conservatives don't want to spend the money. Really? You want to fall even further behind the rest of the world by doing this? And the liberals, the Democrats, they want to spend the money. Well, it makes more sense to spend the money, but notice what neither of them is talking about. The system that produces the neglect. So even if the bill is passed and the Democrats spend a lot of money, nothing has been done to deal with a system that produces this neglect year in and year out. Here in New York City, we are constantly confronted with exploding water mains, and then the headline, the last time this water main was changed was 100 years ago. Oh, hello, that's why it explodes. It's an amazing...
Oh wow, shit, fuck! I was so good. I was on a rant. So I was saying that this is fucking crazy. Everything that Russia is actually doing, everything the U.S. is doing, Russia's doing 10 times worse. This is why you get a lot of the Soviet bloc countries, former Soviet bloc countries, that are rife with fucking corruption. And basically, Russia is a gas station that's ran by mob bosses. This is what's going on. This is why when you can't fuck and make commercial, excuse me, when you can't make up bullshit fucking fake products, then the only fucking choice you have is to invade other countries and take their shit. The whole system of capitalism is crushing. From economic crushing and plunder to literally war and plunder. But let's go.
Amazing story in which you don't want to see the systemic problem. You just want to make a fix, even if it's late and even if it doesn't address the systemic problem. My third update for this part of the first half of our show has to do with population change, and it's quite important to America's economic future. The 2020 census results are now in. The white...
Do they have to worry about the great replacement or some shit like that?
Population of the United States between 2010 and 2020 dropped by 8.6%, whereas the people of color rose, all of them. The biggest, the Hispanic, the second biggest, the Asian, and the third biggest, African American. African American modestly rose 5.6%, but white people dropped 8.6%, and Hispanic and Asian people rose in the double digits.
All right, so I do want to say this, and I want to actually address those of you guys on the left who don't realize when you see this shit, when you hear this shit, what happens is white people think, especially the scared racist ones, and I know I just said the same word twice, but especially the scared racist ones, they really think that people are trying to get rid of them. Now, no matter how fucking stupid us on the left think that is, this is a genuine fear. Now, granted, like, most of it is just that, you know, more people are fucking whoever the fuck they want to fuck, and it's just becoming very, very difficult to say, oh, this is a white person. Not in the sense of there'd be murder, there's just that they like some fucking that they enjoy. But they're scared of these people. Most of the time, these people grew up with a fucking irrational fear that if the colored people, you know, if they get the same power that we have, then they're going to treat us like we treat them. And This is why I push back against so many black people who say, "Oh yeah, no, you better be lucky we want fucking equality, not revenge." No, all they hear is you want revenge. So stop that shit. Oh, okay, Benny ran over. Let's go.
Everything is changing. Let me give you an example. Texas. If you divide this population this way, roughly 40% of Texas is white, 40% of Texas is Hispanic, and 20% of Texas is black. Think about that and what that means. You can be sure the political parties in this country are thinking very hard about this.
That's why they're doing a lot of fucking voter suppression. But let's continue.
You know, our political parties are coalitions. At the top of both Republicans and Democrats are big corporations and our richest people. They're minorities in this society. Most of us are employees. We're neither rich, nor do we run corporations, nor do we own them. In order for them to keep control of this society, either of those two parties, they have to build coalitions with the mass of people. The Republicans have traditionally built it with businessmen and women, white people, religious people. You all know this. The Democrats have tilted more towards unions, towards employees, towards people of color, towards women, and so on. But when the population changes, the parties scurry. The Republicans are terrified. They've built an alliance around white, and white is shrinking. What are they going to do? Well, you can see what they're doing. Two things. That's the strategy of the Republicans. Number one, get more of those shrinking white people to vote. Get them very excited. Get them riled up. Get them to be fearful that as they become a minority, they may get treated by the new majority the way they treated minorities.
See, what did I say? What did I say?
The last 200 years. And the second thing Republicans are doing is cutting back voting by those people who might not vote Republican. It's across the country. And the Democrats, if I had time, are doing their share. The country is divided because of a desperate rush by these political parties to try to cope with a changing population that may shift our politics in fundamental ways. We've come to the end of the first part of today's show. And as always, I want to thank all of you whose support makes this show possible each week.
So we've come to the end of the stream tonight because currently, if you don't notice, my fucking sinuses are starting to get inflamed, and I am fucking tired and I have to work tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I do want to say thank you for watching this video clip, and I want to actually circle back to this one because yeah, like this is not just in the U.S. Oh fuck. I'm on a rant. So we're gonna actually close this off right now because this isn't just here in the U.S. This is across the fucking globe, and we do need to actually address this. And quite frankly, guys, this is something where you see the fucking yeah, no, I fixed it. But you see this shit, and it's just like, it's sad, and different countries are handling this the different kind of ways. So fuck, if here in the U.S. they play to more of a racist crowd, and the country is more divided. If fucking Russia is ultra nationalism and fucking Nazism, like literally, Russia is turning into the new version of the fucking Third Reich or the Fourth Reich, whatever the fuck it is. And now you just see it across the fucking globe. And I'm sorry, some of this shit has to do with our dwindling resources, but some of it is just people want to contain power. But anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this off. Look for more videos out on my YouTube channel. God damn. Thank you guys for watching. And let's call it a day. Take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use
Yeah,
this.
right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but.
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it
The
starts
system
eating.
levels them.
Pretty soon it's
Is
all
that
gone.
what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.